Alex Becker wants to make $100 million or zero in this bull market. And he wants to do this with a select few altcoins in the AI and privacy space. And I'm going to show you his exact method on what he plans to do by breaking down a really high quality, one of Alex Becker's favorite AI and privacy tokens. He's given 3 non-direct, but we've done some back-end math for you, price predictions on exactly how high he thinks this token is going to go. And I want you to use this to understand his strategy and help identify other massive tokens within his 75 token portfolio that you think might also skyrocket. But we're going to start zoomed out with his overall plan, because every time I read something like this, it just gets me fired up and makes me extremely bullish. Artchick says, most people that have over $10 million just hold Bitcoin and Ethereum. Folks who are working with a small stack are mostly holding meme coins and lower market cap majors. This explains why crypto Twitter is obsessed with low caps, because everyone here is broke. She's inferring that only people who have small amounts of money, small amounts in this case would be $1 million, $100,000 in our chick's case. And that's why we're dealing with low caps, is because we need that 100x return to have a significant return, which funny enough, this is the theory why the mainstream and the normies are going to come into the low caps, because they can't make crazy amounts of money using a 2x with Bitcoin. Alex Becker says, this is wrong. I have tens of millions of dollars, roughly 30, 35 million, we've added up in another video, in mid cap and low cap cryptos. I'm turning the stack into 9 figures or zero. Again, we did these projections, but basically 100 to 150 million, he's trying to turn $30 million into. Psychopaths who will likely die of a tumor soon from this behavior, such as myself, exist, and there are many of us. And in fact, he thinks it's about time that this happens. Because remember, he did make tens of millions of dollars back in 2020, 2021, and now he wants to make hundreds of millions. He says in 2020, which if you don't understand, this is the last euphoric zone. It happens every 4 years, which actually happened in 2021, and it's projected to happen right now. And we've seen the rumblings of it. We've seen some massive market cap movements, even just this week, which I'll walk you through. In 2020, people were wrong about altcoins for years. They kept saying there's no altcoin rally this season. Then, in just 6 months, they literally turned thousands of dollars into tens of millions of dollars in both altcoins and NFTs. You only need to be right once, and we are about to be right. It is about to be time. And to give you a more zoomed in, or more, it's less zoomed in, but a more specific time frame mention on when Becker thinks we're going to go parabolic. He says, I'm not even watching the market and I'm not trading. I'm sitting on tens of millions, once again, in AI, utility, alts, and coins. And in 6 months to a year, guys, this was in April, which projects this out to be about October to April next year, is the euphoric zone. This will be hundreds of millions. If you're doing similar, congrats, kick back and relax. This is easy. A return to all-time high is a given. It's programmed in. And like I said, we're already starting to see these altcoins, especially in the AI, and this is in the gaming niche, start to run. This is Altura, which has done almost a 10x, I think more than a 10x, down from about 5 cents up to about, oh, it's not even, sorry, 0.5 cents up to 6.5 cents. Alex Becker says, I'll have whatever the hell Altura is taking. Cheese and rice. Now, Altura has pulled back about 30% from this post, but it's doing extremely well recently because we are entering that euphoric alt season. You can see altcoin index is at 57. Closer to the alt season than it is to Bitcoin season. And remember, once we get to altcoin season, yes, it's going to be euphoric, yes, it's going to be crazy, but we have to take positions in the right tokens before that happens, because it's going to also be a flash in the pan, and then we're heading back down the other side. This is the most exciting time, not peak euphoria. That could only last 3 or 4 weeks. So we have to get in before that actually happens. And we can see that it's becoming more and more altcoin season, because this is the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. And you can see Ethereum got really strong, because Ethereum is obviously an altcoin. It's the main altcoin. Back in 2021, during that peak altcoin rally, you can see since then, it's basically been a massive downtrend until recently, until April, basically, when Alex Becker made the post. And then it's been alt season again. Even though Bitcoin is going up, Ethereum has been going up at a faster rate, and that's going to pass down into the next layer ones and then into the altcoins. But let's talk about one of Alex Becker's favorite tokens, one that he holds more than 2% of the supply in. He's basically the Murad for this token, and one that I'm also a massive fan of, even before we were partnered with them here on this channel, because Alex Becker, as we talk about almost every Alex Becker video, has 75 tokens, and a lot of them are either outdated old, have already run, or he's never going to mention and pump them up again. But there are a select few, including, in my opinion, ZKML, that stand head and shoulders above the rest. And yes, I'm going to be using ZKML as an example and show you Becker's exact market cap predictions for this token, but I want you to also start to identify other tokens in this list or other tokens outside Becker's list that you think might also have the same strengths as something like ZKML, so you know which other tokens are going to run as well. Now, let's go through his 3 price predictions, which it's kind of funny because when I make these videos, sometimes it makes me more and more bullish. This one made me more bullish seeing some of these, in my opinion. I'm going to give my personal opinion at the end of the video, but somewhat insane predictions for this token. And he talks a bit about it in this YouTube video, which was posted August 13th, so 12 days ago now. And here he mentions ZKML, and you can see the timestamp. He talks about ZKML for quite a while and spends quite a bit of time on it because he's a massive believer, obviously, in the token. And he said down here, I don't think it should be in the low cap, high risk zone, which is basically the tens of millions of dollars zone. The non-low cap, high risk zone starts at about the $100 million level, which means this is the loosest of his predictions, but basically taking the fact that it's a $20 million valuation, and if it's not going to be a low cap token, you're going to need to see it in the $80 million plus range. He is estimating that ZKML could 4 to 5x by the market end, bringing it up to an $80 to $100 million level. Why does he say that? He says it's got some pretty crazy utility and a lot of other tokens are needing to integrate it and partnership with ZKML in order to run their AI projects. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. Now, the second prediction is way crazier than that. So this was back March 13th, 2024. You can see the price of ZKML at this point was 60 cents and at a high of 66 cents, which is, I think, at that point in the cycle, basically where it topped out. I'm going to zoom in on the graph for you in a second because Becker responded and he says ZKML is PAAL's little brother. Now, PAAL was basically one of the just under blue chip, or should I say was, because they did have a bit of a fall off, but it was essentially one of the top 8 to 10 AI crypto tokens, and it has fallen from glory since then. I was never a big fan of PAAL, but it's doing okay. It didn't die. And at the time that it was really shining, I'm going to show you how much it was shining, Alex Becker said that he expects ZKML to mirror what PAAL did. AKA, if PAAL goes to $1 billion market cap, ZKML will replace PAAL at its current mid-cap market cap. Again, you can see the point that has been consistent through all his predictions. He thinks it is one of the best mid-cap plays and it deserves to be a mid-cap. Now, what is mid-cap at that point in time? Well, let's actually see that date for you guys. March 13th, 2024. And it's kind of funny because you'll see this next prediction too. Alex Becker likes to make most of his predictions when tokens are basically peaking. So you can see up here, March 9, March 16. So you can see in here somewhere at about the $500 million market cap, Alex Becker predicted ZKML would match PAAL where it currently is. And funny enough, like I said, PAAL sort of did have that big fall off here and is currently sitting at about the $100 million fully diluted market cap zone. And to give you some of my opinion, I do think that ZKML is a much better project than PAAL, but I'll give you more of my opinion at the end and how that will reflect in the market cap of ZKML. Now, this is very fascinating to go back and have a look at because we're back in January of this year now. And Alex Becker at the start of the year said this is going to be the best play of 2025 that you could possibly make. And this is his theory. Binance and top centralized exchanges, which have crazy volume and allow mainstream people to buy into any crypto that they list. And Alex Becker thinks that Binance or any other tier 1 centralized exchange could list the top AI coins like Destra, Pinlink, and remember, PAAL was one of the top coins back then. And he says that's an extremely high probability. Now, what happens with that, just like when Sandbox was one of the top metaverse tokens and Meta changed its name to Meta and everything else went nuts underneath it, he thinks the lower cap tokens are going to trigger an even bigger surge for all the AI tokens as that becomes the top narrative. And just recently, yesterday, Elise, I think his name is, or Eli Z, said, desync, the biggest exchanges are coming. They are even more interested here on X. We have been here for a while now, since January. I think it's time to enjoy the ride. And Alex Becker responded, it's almost time for basically a big exchange to list one of the top tier AI tokens like Desync. And I dug this up from April 2024. So this is way back now, but this is the craziest price prediction that I've seen him make probably ever. And he's talking specifically about ZKML as well as Destra and ATOR, which is now Anyone protocol. And Alex Becker says, man, some of the tech in AI crypto is mind-boggling. He doesn't have time to go into hyper detail in his vids because he crams lots of tokens into one vid. Otherwise he would have plenty of time to go into detail. But look into some of my mentions like Anyone, well, don't need to click on that. Let's go back for you. Destra or Desync. And of course, it's funny because these are much higher market caps here. The only low market cap here, literally a $20 million market cap currently, or less than that, he mentions in this with mind-boggling tech is ZKML. They are earth-shaking. I mean, name a stronger testimonial than earth-shaking in terms of AI mining and privacy management. Could all easily hit market caps 20 to 30x their current size, which, remember what happened last time Becker made a prediction. It was literally almost at the top of that point in the cycle. And if we go to April 2nd, 2024 on ZKML's chart, you can see right here, the peak up here is about mid-March, March 19th. April 2nd is literally in here at that second peak right here at 71 cents. He made the prediction it would 20 to 30x. So he's predicted it would go from 70 cents to 20x to $14 a token, which is about an 80x from where we are currently sitting, which again, he likes to project at highs and he probably gets a little bit carried away because the euphoria is there and he's probably made millions of dollars since he owns a large percentage of these tokens. But it's still pretty crazy to think that we've had, and ZKML guys, it responds really well to bull markets. Anytime we are bullish, it does respond really well. And I'm a big fan of it. And I've even seen, like, even this one was probably one of our videos talking about ZKML. And as the market comes back, I do expect this to go extremely well, especially because Alex Becker has taken huge stakes in both Anyone and ZKML, and as well as taken on advisory roles to help them in growth. But in terms of his priorities through his 75 different tokens, I personally think that ZKML is well up there on the ones that he's going to promote. And I know because we're partnered with ZKML as well, that they have a strong partnership program for other people who could really push this up in terms of market cap. I'll give you the exact price prediction on what I think the market cap could do. And it's not 1.6 billion, unfortunately. Right after I show you this crazy opportunity inside our inner circle, because we track people like Alex Becker's wallets, people like CryptoGodJohn's wallets, people like House of Crypto's wallets, Miles Deutscher, Andrew Tate. We track their social media, we track their portfolios so that you can get an unfair advantage when it comes to learning about new tokens and new narratives before these massive influencers and KOLs push them to their millions of fans. That is literally what we do on this channel. So we're trying to move up the news cycle. And we host our Rubicon bot inside of Telegram. So you can literally get a curated news feed from all the best influencers and best traders in the world to see exactly what they're tweeting, what they're buying, and what they're saying about new projects the moment that they do it. And if you're part of the inner circle, you can customize your bot. So if I click on home here, go to whale tracking menu, I can literally show you the buy and sell alerts that we get from all these influencers. You can turn them off or turn them on. So for example, if I click this, when Alex Becker buys a crypto token with one of his over 40 wallets that we track, we will get sent that alert inside of our own personalized whale tracker. Again, you can come and see exactly what portfolios they're holding, or even social alerts so you can know exactly when they're tweeting or responding to new projects, or as you can see, following alerts when they go and follow new projects. It's just a premium news feed of alpha that you're going to get days, if not weeks ahead, than if you were relying on something like Twitter or YouTube to get this information. So the link to our inner circle, the Rubicon bot, and the whale tracker is in the description below. We'd love to see you as part of that massive community. We also have a massive Telegram group where we all chat, hang out, and find awesome opportunities. So come and join us. It's a lot of fun. Link in the description below. Now, in terms of how high ZKML can go, Alex Becker talked about them actually building mind-boggling, earth-shattering technology. And someone like ZKML are actually building some really awesome stuff. It's not just vaporware and they don't have just an overinflated token. They are just launching right now, August 20, Zebra AI, which is the new standard for private AI chat. Your IP stays masked just like a VPN, but it's always on. Chats are fully encrypted and private by default. One-click account creation, no KYC, no hassle. Top up instantly with crypto to unlock more API usage. You can literally, guys, go and test this right now on their Telegram channel by clicking that link there. If you go over to their Twitter, you can get access to that. Now, in terms of Benji and across the Rubicon's price prediction, which I rarely do because, once again, I'm not the expert. I just like copy trading the experts, but I have been doing it for about 3 to 4 years now and done very well using these strategies of social arbitrage, which honestly, in my opinion, is the only way to trade crypto. And I do have a good feeling about ZKML. In fact, we are holding a decent amount of ZKML because we do think that this could go up. I would be absolutely shocked if it crossed the $1 billion level. I'd be absolutely shocked if it crossed the $500 million level, but I would conservatively estimate that I could see this hitting the $60 million market cap level for sure, potentially, depending how strong that bull market is and the narrative is for AI, the 100 million or onwards to the 200 million if we get really euphoric. So yes, I am personally holding this. And just like Alex Becker says, he doesn't think this should be a low cap token. I also agree, it probably shouldn't be down here, but do your own research. Go look at other tokens you might think also fit the bill for Alex Becker tokens that you think might 10, 20, 50x in this euphoric time. I'm looking forward to riding this wave all the way to the top with you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.